I've just seen a video from Glasgow showing Yes Yobs doing what they do best, which is just trying to shout people down, and it's pathetic, really. So this was quite a dramatic video. It showed a scene from Glasgow, and it showed a group of No supporters facing off a group of Yes supporters, and police in the middle. As usual, the No supporters were behaving with much more decency, but basically in the video you have a yeser ranting and raving about slavery, mockingly sort of using, I don't know if he was American, but he had an American accent, because you get different affiliate groups. You get like Americans for the UK, Americans for Scottish Independent, all this sort of thing. So I don't know if he was just mocking that accent, but anyway, he sounded American, and he was doing a sort of mockish Uncle Tom in inverted commas accent, like, "Please master, bring me more, please master." So the insinuation there was that the Scottish people who want to stay in the United Kingdom are slaves to Westminster. I have to say, Jim Murphy, my respect for the man is growing by the day, because he just handled it like a boss. He didn't stoop to the gutter, he didn't stoop to the levels of this idiot, but at the same time he was no pushover. It sort of like, he was pretty relaxed about it, actually. Put a link to this. You know, I've often heard Yes people say, "Oh, well, you're biased. Unionists behave like this as well." I've said before, there maybe are some unionists who behave in a non-savoury manner, but the onus is on them also to provide evidence for what is happening. Now, the No campaign has provided evidence of the sort of intimidation, harassment, threatening behaviour they have been facing. And I think it's tragic that in a British city in the 21st century, people have to be protected because of their political views. That's a disgrace. And this is the sort of toxic atmosphere these small-minded nationalists have created. Just for the record, I'm not talking about everyone who's planning to vote yes, although I think if you do vote yes, then it's entirely your fault for what happens afterwards. I've got to the point now where I'm no longer interested in negotiating with people who have already made up their mind. They're going to vote yes, and they're hell-bent about it. So there's no getting through to them, because they hate the UK and they're going to vote yes. I would say to them, that's your right. No one's stopping you from doing that. You think you're voting for freedom, great. But whatever problems Scotland may encounter in the coming years, don't turn around and whinge about it to Westminster, because you'll be free from Westminster. And by the way, with that, I'm talking about the hardcore supporters who were always going to vote yes. I'm not talking about people like the woman who was genuinely lost as to what to vote for, and she's voting yes on the grounds there was no Devo Max option. And I still think that was a ridiculous mistake from the No campaign. If this goes towards independence, and I still believe it is, as it's reported, it's completely 50-50, but if it goes for independence, I intend to make a video about where I believe that the No campaign has gone wrong. I don't believe it's much point of that right now, because we don't know the result. It could be a huge surprise. It could be an overwhelming majority for Better Together, which of course I hope it will be, but I think it'll be like Quebec in 1995. I think it'll be very tight. But again, there's serious questions here about what are these nationals going to do with their rage and their vitriol if they don't get their own way. I'm a little bit concerned about that. So yeah, another thing I want to bring your attention to: Peter Hean, the former Labour minister, who's South African. He was born in South Africa, and my mistake, it may have been born in Kenya, but anyway, he was a long-term anti-apartheid campaigner, and he's written a scathing article in the Telegraph, basically taking on Alex Salmond for the ridiculous claim of comparing present-day Scotland to apartheid-era South Africa. Now, if you're a South African, you should find this offensive. If you're anyone with common sense, you should find this offensive. Whatever imperfections Scotland has at present in the Union, and I do believe there's room for improvement. In fact, there's room for improvement in all the home nations, not just Scotland. But to compare this to a racist system of government is obnoxious and frankly repugnant in the extreme. Now, until now, I'd sort of held Alex Salmond above the more extreme elements of the Yes side. I thought, okay, I deeply disagree with this man's politics, but I think at least he's responsible on some level about the way he's going about it. But this just shows desperation, I think. They say the no side is desperate, but to compare present-day Scotland with South Africa, I think it's frankly shameful. Frankly shameful. And it's right that Peter Hean took him on directly for that. Peter Hean, unlike Alex Salmond, actually campaigned against apartheid directly. And it just shows how the Scottish nationalist campaign distorts reality. Scotland's not a perfect society today, and there's always room for improvement. But the idea that it's part of a racist system is anti-English, because it demonises them as the oppressors. It's a lie, because Scottish and English people can freely move between Scotland and England. It's not a system whereby Scots are forced to sit at the back of buses or go to separate restaurants, or so. You know what I'm getting at. It's just an absolutely vile comparison. I'm so fed up with these yes wankers. I'm sorry for the language, but I'm beyond caring right now. It's early hours in the morning and beyond caring. They just make themselves to look such petty, vindictive, tiny-minded, bitter people. And it's not surprising. I always knew this would be a heated campaign, so I'm not really surprised by it. But, you know, they say some unionists act the same way. Maybe there is, but I have not seen it on the same level. No way. And if that has been the case, it's up to them to prove it. Jim Murphy made a good point in the video. He says, film this guy. And that's important so that undecided voters can see just how toxic their thinking is. I mean, is this what an independent Scotland is going to look like? I would like to know some things. Firstly, how are these nationalists going to react if they don't get their way? Are they going to riot? Are they going to attack people? Because the level of anger that they're exhibiting, not that there isn't anger on the union side as well, there is, but the level of misplaced anger that they're exhibiting, it does make you wonder what are they going to do with it. Secondly, how are people who vote no going to be treated in an independent Scotland? Are they going to be treated as outsiders? Are they going to be vilified? And you know, some people might turn around and say, oh well, you're vilifying all yes people. I want to make this very clear. I am not talking about everyone who's going to vote yes. I do believe there's Scottish people who are decent people, who aren't racist, who genuinely believe that yes would be a better vote for Scotland. But the extremists within their midst are very loud and very dominant, and it's up to moderate yes people to contain them. Yeah, Alex Salmond's condemned it, but you know, if this goes the way of independence, he's going to have to do a lot more than condemn it. He's going to have to rein these people in, because they're bloody extremists. And that's one reason I'm going to try my best to get up to Edinburgh for referendum day. I can't vote, but I think I should be there for solidarity for my Scottish brothers and sisters who believe in this country, this United Kingdom.